When I first learned about, this pandemic, or I also received the email from Bishop Weisenberger telling us, due to this pandemic, we will have to close our parishes to protect the well-being of our parishioners and also of our priests. Again, I was taken, by surprise. Again, nobody was expecting this in the first place. And it was so painful just to see everything coming, evolving, and in a sense, kind of having some sort of fear. Again, because I was hearing so much news, I was hearing also parishioners' concerns and fear at the same time. So I was, in a sense, kind of filled with somewhat of a fear, with all of this, what was happening. But no, I also decided to take that fear, transform it, and also use it for the good of the parishioners and my community, and kind of bring a sense of doing something to alleviate a little bit of that, rather than, allow myself to go with that fear and be part of that fear with everybody else. And I said, no, Lord, what is it exactly that you want me to do? And that's when I started, in prayer, asking the Lord, what is it that you want me to do to bring, consolation, mercy, in your real presence to those who are going through this difficult situation and impact? Because it was at that moment when everybody just, again, the whole community, the whole world turned around and feared. And again, I was part of it at one moment. Like I said, looking at the realities of COVID-19 and this pandemic period, I continue to bring hope, worship the God of mercy, worship the God of forgiveness, the God who is close to the brokenhearted, the God who brings hope to those in fear, the God who brings comfort through His love, and certainly Oscar Romero, has inspired me to live his Episcopal motto, Sentire cum Ecclesia, to feel, to think with the Church, striving to walk closely with Christ in the spirit of filial obedience, and to have passion for God and compassion for those who are suffering. And it was in moments, like I said, in moments of prayers, that the Lord inspired in my heart the desire to proclaim that over the ruins of ours, the glory and mercy of God will shine forth, and we have the custom to come to church, to worship the Lord of glory and mercy. But unfortunately, as we know, that was not being, possible. So I was receiving a lot of phone calls from, my parishioners asking, is it true that there will not be any mass at the time, especially when everything started? And basically that was our cause. Is there mass? Is there mass? Is there mass? And our constant, answer was no. At this moment, mass has been suspended, but we are working on means or ways in how to bring the mass, through other sources of communication to you, and you can come and receive communion. And again, the question continued, but what if we want to spend time with the Lord? What if we want to, if there's no mass, can at least I get some time with the Lord in, in adoration? And that's where everything started. That's where I felt the call of God to say, okay, now this is the time where you are to bring Christ to those, longing for Him. And it's quite interesting to see, that we are accustomed to come and worship the Lord, to a temple, to a parish, to a church. And now it's the Lord coming out to the streets to bring His love and mercy. Even though I follow the government directives for social distancing and also safety, in the midst of that, I arranged to bring Jesus in the real presence of the Eucharist into the streets and neighborhoods of the city of Marana. And again, when I invited my office manager and other two parishioners to help me, decorate the car, find the truck, decorate the car, and just we all got excited about the idea of bringing Christ to the streets of Marana. We did live stream a video of the procession, and it was just powerful. to see how everybody was reacting, Catholics and non-Catholics, Christians and non-Christians. Everybody was kind of seeing something, there that was precious, because also we had at the top of this card, we had, the logo, "In God We Trust." And people were kind of going, yes, whether they were Catholics or not, whether they were kneeling or not, they were able to recognize that something good was happening at the moment. And it was very impressive to see the active participation of my parishioners as they were opening their house windows, kneeling, genuflecting, as they were coming out of their house just to see, the car carrying the Blessed Sacrament, as it was passing by. It was, again, more than 4 hours of pure mercy, consolation, and strength of God to my people. And again, this mercy of God continued to be offered as we arrange what we call, and so many other parishes are doing that too. It's the drive-through. It was very out of the ordinary, but I have spent a lot of hours witnessing the miracle of divine mercy, which restores the soul in full and leaves the spirit in joy. And again, just like seeing Padre Pio in our parish community, we believe that it will be easier for the world to survive without the Sun than to do without the Holy Eucharist, without the Mass. And again, the Mass continues to be an essential source of grace for my community, an essential grace of strength. And it was, I have also been celebrating the Mass and broadcasting it over, parish Facebook page and through other means of communication. And also we have been distributing, Holy Communion in the parking lot after each Mass. And for our parish, like I said, is the Mass is one of the most sources of mercy. Is the Mass who help us bring about the interior reconciliation in the heart of the Church, and also to experience a real foretaste of the eschatological fulfillment which every human being and all creation are destined. And again, it is the God of mercy who has been manifested in this parish community through all this means of bringing Christ to my parishioners, and also from other neighborhood parishioners that are coming to us. And again, divine mercy continues to guide us for that true and eternal happiness which only God's love can give, because as we know, divine mercy gives meaning to our lives, brings peace to our hearts. Genuine peace flows in the world, and also peace and strength for one another, because it's mercy that steers us towards God and towards His love. And again, this is what we've done here at our parish community. I knew that they had Eucharistic adorations once a week, but I did not know how profound the Eucharist and also the adoration of the Blessed Sacrament meant to them. And again, it was happy to realize how profoundly Eucharistic the community is. And again, during this pandemic, most people, all have been deprived from the gift of the Eucharist, but also it has awakened in everybody kind of a deeper sense of how much the Mass means to us and the Mass is to us. I think one of the greatest fruits that have come through this pandemic has definitely been the love for God and the love for my people. Although also one of the challenges, if I could say that now, is the struggle that, it's the regular contact with my people. My parishioners' presence is such an essential component of my priesthood, because we exist primarily for the service of God, but also for the service of my people, of God's people, and not being able to being as present, physically. That has been, the struggle, but also it has been a blessing for me to recognize how important they are also to the parish community. And one of the great blessings has also become that during this time, they have also done something very beautiful. I thought they've done an uplifting, memory for Father Edson. So they've been offering masses for me. They've been offering, prayers and rosaries. They've sent me letters of encouragement, and it just, again, interesting and beautiful at the same time to see how parishioners are helping one another, are helping his priests, encouraging their priests through prayer. And I think that's what makes it, in a sense, kind of the gift to me, and one of the blessings to be able to see how the parish community is able to help one another through prayer, through grace, through God. Every time the Mass is celebrated, we give praise and honor to God. And I've learned in seminary formation at Mundelein that the Mass is the work of God, is the work of Christ done on behalf of the people. And it is something that the people cannot do on their own. And just as Christ prays to the Father of mercies and intercedes for us, every time I celebrate the Mass, we join in his perfect prayer. And that is why, as a priest, the best way I have been doing, to worship God is that I have been following the example of Jesus' own sacrifice of praise to the Father. And again, it is a recognizing, Mundelein Seminary has prepared me precisely to imitate and to be the altar Christus and really live that out, out of love, through my presence, through my witness, and most importantly, through my love for him and through my love to the community. And I think, yes, nobody prepared us for this pandemic, but yes, they also prepare us to give ourselves fully into the service of God, into the service of our people. And that's for sure has helped me to recognize, and Mundelein prepared me to do not be afraid. And constantly we hear that at seminary, and even we have it, at one of the chapels. Do not be afraid. Take courage. Keep going forward. The Lord is with you. And it is that affirmation of recognizing that the Lord is with me, and everything that we're doing is for God's glory, that it has, in a sense, keep me moving forward and encourage others and bring hope, and also at the same time bringing hope in the midst of all of this. After each Mass, after each live stream video or holy hour, or now that we're having Mass in person with parishioners, I always remind them, the importance of God's presence in our lives, but also I remind them to never forget to smile. God is present. God is with us. Don't forget to smile, I tell them, because God's mercy accompanies in the midst of all of this.